Welcome to the Music Video Night podcast, where we watch music videos and deconstruct them into meanings that couldn't possibly be there. I'm Travis.
I'm Jared, and we are not experts in music or videos or even normal podcasting today.
That's right. Today you get a bonus episode, and this is probably our most exciting. Why are you still holding that?
I'm just holding it.
It's our most exciting episode to date, I think. We've got some big news and a big bonus for everybody. So, do you wanna tell them what they're in for?
Yeah, so again, we occasionally reach out to these directors. Very rarely do we get a response. We got a response, guys.
Yeah, and from a pretty big director.
Yeah.
So we did Panic at the Discos, I Write Sins, Not Tragedies, directed by Shane Drake, and he responded.
And not just in an email, he offered to talk to us. And talk to us he did for an hour.
Yeah, and so we're going to share that with you in a little bit. We're going to tell you a little bit about Shane right now. So Shane, not only the director of the I Write Sins video, and he won MTV's Music Video of the Year award for that, right?
Very good.
Yeah, thanks. He's been nominated for tons of stuff for MTV Music Awards as far as videos of the year, best director, best pop video, best rock video, tons of stuff.
Even some country songs.
Yeah, and won an award, country music video of the year, for Highway.
Don't care.
Highway Don't Care, yeah, by Taylor Swift and Tim McGraw and Keith Urban. So big deal.
Involved in over 100 music videos, still making them to this day. Not responsible for a lot of memories and a lot of videos that connect with people. They're huge videos, guys.
Huge videos from huge bands, people like Panic or Fall Out Boy or Paramore, Gym Class Heroes, Timbaland, Darius Rucker, Little Big Town,
Trick Daddy,
Trick Daddy, Keith Urban, Luke Bryan, Carrie Underwood, and AJR. There's a bunch in there, guys. I can't name them all, but kind of a big deal is Shane Drake.
Yeah, and you'll listen to this. He made us do no work, extremely generous with his time and his insights into music videos, and especially listening to this podcast, which why on earth would you? But he did.
Yep.
And had a good time with us. And so we're going to let y'all listen to that full interview. It's our first interview off of a Zoom, so kind of forgive us if the audio is all over the place. It's my first one, so we're just kind of working on that.
Yep, and Shane, we can't thank you enough for giving us your time and the opportunity to talk to you. So without further ado, people, here is our Zoom call with Shane Drake.
Got it. So, yeah. So, what is this that you do? And then how many followers you got on this thing? And where the hell you guys are in Alabama? Is that right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
We're in Alabama. So we both listen to a lot of podcasts, and I listen to them a lot. And one day I think I was driving home and I was like, man, I'd really like to do a podcast, but I wouldn't want to do it by myself. So I was like, I'll call Jared, see if he wants to start one. We had no idea what the hell we were going to do or what direction we were going to take. We just knew we like hanging out and talking about bullshit. So
I love it. Yeah.
But followers like this, we're on second season just by sake of episodes, not for any particular reason, I guess. But follower wise, we have just kind of started. We're low. I think on Spotify we have like 16. So you're the most popular person we've ever talked to. Yep.
Oh, that's cool. Right on,
Yeah.
man. Let me see if I can get this. Well, good, man. Hopefully, we can use this and promote it and get 16 more.
Yeah. So, yeah. I mean, and it's not, we don't even do it like, try to gain clout or anything. We just genuinely have an interest. So like, it's just awesome to have somebody reply to it,
you are the
Cool.
second director that has replied. The first one was Fall Out Boy.
Yeah.
Sugar We're Going Down. What was his name? Help me out here.
Oh man, we should have. This is about Shane.
Yeah, and but he did not offer
Yeah, no,
to do
I
a call.
forget who did that one. Yeah.
I can't
But
remember
you know
his
what?
name either.
I think you'd be surprised that, I mean, the more directors you reach out to, I mean, the world's just so connected now. You know what I mean? It's not like the exclusivity of like, you know, the fucking 90s. You couldn't, you know, reach people that had done something of value in the entertainment world. Now it's like everyone's kind of reachable.
Everyone's reachable, but not necessarily receptive to it.
Yeah, I guess not.
So,
I am, and I'm excited to be here. I listened to the whole thing of your take on the video.
Yeah.
Fascinating. Absolutely fascinating. Who fucking gave me a 5?
That's me. That was me.
This guy right here. I knew that was gonna be the first thing I brought up too. Good for you. Yeah, no, you can cuss him out. It was
That's
bullshit
okay.
rating.
Now, honestly, what makes art good is that everyone gets to say what they want to say about it. There's no I can't objectively tell you which one is right or wrong. That's what's fucking beautiful about it. You know, that's why I love my job. Like believe it or not, one of the things that made Panic so big was fucking hate. Like they got hate on by so many people and loved by so many people, obviously, but like there's just a lot of controversy around them, and that made them popular. You know what I mean? On top of the fact that they were insanely talented. But like, so when people like have different thoughts on whatever art I do, like I love it, man. That's what sort of gets the whole zeitgeist fueled. Do you know what I mean? That's what makes us want to do better, or want to convince someone they're wrong, or want to like go make a different thing that shows, oh, maybe he was right about this. I'm going to go fucking tackle that side of it. You know what I mean? It's all part of the process, and I love it, man.
You would be really surprised if you heard some of the other ratings. There's we have no reasoning, I guess, to a lot of them, so it is just like whatever. But you're allowed to call me out.
I love the father panics. I love the father panics.
So yeah, tell us how'd you hook up with this video? You were already doing music videos at this time.
So I had been doing. This was about 2000. We shot this in 2005 in December. Super cold, freezing. Like it was just like particularly cold for LA, and the back of the truck had like some like ice and shit or some drinks and stuff that all kind of froze over. It was nuts. But we shot this in December. I had done mostly like $5,000 to $10,000 budget music videos up to this point. I had done a couple videos of note. One was I had done Hawthorne Heights, Ohio's for Lovers. And that was sort of my first big MTV sort of showing. And then before then, I did Fall Out Boy, the video for Saturday, which again was like a $5,000 video we shot in Chicago, driving around Pete Wentz's Honda Accord, just shooting stuff on the fly.
Yeah.
And so this video was the first time I'd ever gotten a budget over 15. I think I was, we were at the Wiltern, and they're doing the Honda Civic tour, I believe, opening for Fall Out Boy. And we were at the Wiltern, and we were sort of brainstorming ideas. At the time, I think the budget was going to be 15. That was going to be my biggest budget. And I was like, oh shit, I got to think of some cool stuff to do for $15,000, which now sounds like nothing. At the time, I'm like, that was everything, right? That was so much money. I'm like, well, what can I do with $15,000? So we're brainstorming these ideas, and I had this idea for this wedding and this kind of crazy, I love circus things, and I love like the fantastical. I love the theatrical. I know one thing you guys mentioned is that he overacts, and that to me, I wanted that theatrical sort of big, larger than life kind of thing. And so we were going for that. But that's, as we were talking, the idea kind of grew, and I had this idea. At one point, I wanted to throw a smoke bomb and disappear. And by the time we landed on the idea, it was clear that it was more than a $15,000 idea. And we ended up like getting it approved like immediately. Like the band was just so hot, like they could do no wrong. And the label approved a $30,000 budget for me, which was massive. Yeah. So I was just like, great, well, we're going to do all the things. So my buddy, Jason Graff, was connected to this Cirque group. The leader was this girl, she's one of the pretty ones. Her name's Dream. And they do this, I'm blanking on their name now, but they literally toured with Panic. So that Cirque group that I'm totally blanking on the name of, and I apologize if they ever listen to this, but
You're fine right now.
They came on as a favor to just kind of be a part of something that they felt like they believed in what was happening with Panic. And when we did the video, it became so popular. They actually went on tour with them for like, I don't know, the whole fall or something, like, and did their things on stage with them. It was kind of crazy.
Yeah. That's one of our first questions was like, is that a real like group? And so.
Yep. Yeah. It's a bunch of, it was a group in Hollywood that I wish I could remember their names. The troupe has a name, but they did shows all over LA, really cool shit like acrobatics and fire stuff. And again, they do like, Lucent Dossier. That's it. Yeah.
There you go. Lucent Dossier. I was looking it up as you were going through.
Perfect. I love it. Yeah. Thanks for the alley-oop on that. So yeah, and they were super talented, super energetic. I mean, like I said, it was freezing cold that day and that night. We must have shot 18 hours. I don't know. It was a long shoot. And like they were there, huh?
Was it one day?
Yeah, we did all this in one day.
Oh wow, that's
crazy.
And yeah, it is crazy. When I think back to it, it's mind blowing. But I don't know. I don't even think we paid them, to be honest with you. I think, and not that we stiffed them. I think they agreed to do it for free. Which is, in retrospect, when you look at all the costuming and all the makeup and all the like sort of just skill level of talent that they have, they brought each in their own individual way to that circuit group to come and shoot this music video for a band that was still not, I mean, they had a song on the radio that I write since it was on the radio, but like, it wasn't like a massive hit yet. It hadn't blown up and like put them on the cover of Rolling Stone and all that, which would happen months later. But they believed it. They believed in my vision. They believed in what the band could be. And if we paid them, it was just hardly anything. And so I'm always so gracious that they were such a amazing part of that video, because they're the magic of that video, really. I mean, outside of the band, which is the main magic, like that Lucent Dossier, they came to the table and just gave us a humongous favor. And so, and I stayed in contact with them for a while, and we go to some of the shows around LA, but this was such a magical sort of experience. I think no one left with any regrets.
It's fun to shoot.
Yeah, man. The other side of the church is mostly friends with one of my interns. So those are mostly high school kids who were friends with,
the bride side.
No, the bride side.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
So the bride side. So I had this intern named Jory, and she had a lot of friends, and my producer and her had gone to the same high school, just at different years. So they had a lot of people that kind of like, they knew they either just graduated or maybe were seniors and just had time. And so we ended up getting a lot of those kids to be the extras. And so that's why they were all down to have their faces painted and their eyes closed for, hours on end shooting, the scenes. But yeah, so like most of them weren't actors by any means. They were just friends of my intern. And the lead, the guy who plays the groom, was also my intern at the time, Daniel McGuffey.
Oh, wow. So he wasn't even like somebody y'all casted. You just knew him already.
I did, but obviously, like, I didn't just cast him because he's my intern. He had the perfect look. It just was kismet. You know what I mean? It was like one of those things like, oh my gosh, this guy's got the exact look we're looking for. He's my intern right now. Like, let's put him in there. And he was incredible. He did great.
He did. He was one of the highlights of the whole thing, I think, and we pointed that out.
Yeah. And you guys couldn't stand the bride, and that's hilarious. She's a sweetheart. She is not an actress. She's she was also friends with Jory, my intern, and so she came in as a favor. Again, 30,000 goes a long ways, but it doesn't get you like a room full of actors and all the gear, because we got this on 35 millimeter film.
Okay.
This wasn't HD or any of that sort of digital shit. This was a 35 millimeter shoot. I still have the reels at home.
Oh wow!
All the negatives. Yeah. Like boxes and boxes. And so like this was just a different era. You know what I mean? Filmmaking. So things cost different money. So like you got to pull favors where you could. I mean, the production design, like, so production design is a big deal in music videos. That's who builds the sets and makes everything look how it looks. And so on this one, we had a local girl from I lived in Thousand Oaks at the time. And we had a local girl, I think her name was Lindy, myself and my wife at the time, now ex-wife, we all did the production design. And so when when the VMA nominations came out, we were nominated for like 5 different categories. And one of those was production design, art design. And so I got to have my wife get a ticket, this girl Linda get a ticket, me get a ticket, and we all got +1. So like we ended up getting a lot of like people to come to the VMAs that year because we all kind of had ourselves on the bill as having done these random jobs for it. You know what I mean? But again, like if you look at the production design, it's not great, but it sells the idea. You know what I mean? It gets that across. So it's interesting that you guys even kind of notice those things. It's like, I don't know why the guest book's where it is. Honestly, I think it made for a good shot. You know what I mean?
Well, I think like it's really insightful to know like the budget and stuff, because looking back on it, you know, you think that Panic at the Disco at this time, you're like, oh, this is a huge hit. You think they have all this money, but really it's just like high school students and you have $30,000 to make the best thing, but you don't know that as a listener or a watcher.
The music videos that so for video of the year, I was up against, I believe, if I can remember right, I think it was Madonna, Chili Peppers, Christina Aguilera, videos that were like $500,000 or more.
Yeah.
Wow. Videos that we competed against to win this. And ours was a $30,000 video for which I made a few grand on the video. So I shot it for less than 30, really. You know what I mean? On the screen. And so that being said, like it was kind of a coup. You know what I mean? Everyone's kind of like, how the fuck did you do that? And honestly, at the time, I didn't know any other way. To me, $30,000 was $300,000. You know what I mean? Like, so it felt like a big budget to me. So I spent it, the way I spent it, I was, I don't know, this is what you guys do, but come to find out, I mean, subsequent videos, you know, $30,000 wouldn't even cover my art department.
Yeah, but like now you're saying that your production design, like it's all thematically on point. Like the video is cohesive and makes sense.
For sure. And we look, I was heavily influenced by like Tim Burton and all this sort of, you know, the films of that sort of, and so what we wanted to do is we wanted something that was felt a little fantastical, but also realistic. And so we definitely were intentional. I mean, by all means, our production design was intentional. It's just that that's not my skill set. You know what I mean? I'm a director at heart. I'm an editor. I'm a writer, but like production design, I count on people in that department to do great work. You know what I mean? There's a different level of artistry there, a different type of artistry there. It's not me. But being able to like be a part of those things in those early videos is kind of cool because, you know, it definitely gave me an idea like of what everyone's doing. You know, I used to be a big part of wardrobe too. You know, we did this video for Paramore song. I did most of their first videos, and I did a song called Emergency, where we got to distress this dress that she used in the video, and then going in the Hall of Fame for a while. So I'm like, and again, it was a vintage dress store like that we got for like, you know, $20, and then dragged it in the dirt and ran over it with a car. And next thing you know, it's like some iconic dress, but getting to be a part of that, you realize, oh, but that is what the people do who are in those jobs. You know what I mean? You're like, oh, cool. So now when I'm asking you to do something, I know what you're going to go do, or I can suggest something for you to do. And same with the production design. I mean, you know, those early days of those budgets, like my hands were involved in every department. You know what I mean? So that's kind of like knowing your world, you know what I mean? So that when I'm now in a place where I'm just sort of directing things and I'm speaking to the departments, I'm not just speaking blindly. I've been there, sort of had some hands-on experience, like sort of, you know, getting myself in that place.
You're really selling yourself short by saying some experience. You have kind of done after this video, every genre of music there is, you've now been a part of, I feel like.
I have, yeah. I've been very fortunate. I mean, look, this video from here, before this video, I probably did 30, 40 videos, most of which people never saw, right? Just low budget stuff for like Tooth and Nail bands or Solid State or Victory and stuff, bands I loved, hardcore bands, metal bands, shit that was a blast, like, right? That's what really kind of got me so jazzed about music videos was those early videos with these bands that just fucking sang their hearts out. You know what I mean? And then when this video came along, it kind of like opened up the doorway to the bigger budget things. You know what I mean? So I ended up doing that video you guys discussed called But It's Better If You Do, which was the next video after that. And for that one, I think our budget went from 30 to 80. And that was crazy money to me. Again, not crazy money anymore, but it was crazy money then. Like, and then from there, you know, we did, I think the next one I did with him was 9 PM. And that was even bigger. And that was also nominated for a bunch of VMAs, none of which we won, but that was Britney Spears' return year. So she won all of this shit, but
she owned it all. So is there anything that we missed that you want to point out? That maybe I don't know, something that we may have missed in the video when we were discussing.
Gosh, I know you guys mentioned he must be a Catholic priest, but actually a number of denominations were callers. So I didn't really have a specific thought in that.
Oh, do that? Okay, I didn't know that.
Yeah. It could be Lutheran, it could be Episcopalian, it could be Methodist. Yeah.
So here in the Southern Belt, we know Baptist, and that's about it.
Yeah.
The Bible
for
Belt
sure,
here.
for sure. What else? I think so the voices. You guys commented on the yes. So that's my voice.
Is it really?
So that's my
great.
voice and my ex-wife. My ex-wife's actually in the video. She's sitting on the edge. She's the mime in green sitting on the edge. When
She's the one that stares at the camera.
There's two. There's one girl that opens her eyes and directly looks into camera, which as a moment.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. What's the time code? Show me. Let me see.
Oh, well, we're looping it right now. Whenever we get to it, I'll pause it and track it for you here. It should be coming up
green.
here.
I know there was two that look into it, but yeah, I'll let you know. But anyway, yeah. So she, at the time, she was helping me with wardrobe, helping me with production design. She was, you know, we've been divorced for years now and still friends. She's wonderful. She's an incredible singer. Her name is Jamie Drake. But yeah, she is in the video. Maybe she does look in the camera. I can't remember if she looks in the camera. She definitely is one of the people that gets
yeah,
up
right here.
Right here.
Timestamp is 2:03.
2:03. Yep.
2:03. All right, let's see here.
Maybe 2:02.
But it seems intentional, right?
Yeah.
Normally we pick out mistakes in videos.
But she
Oh, you're talking about when the bride's running out?
Yep. Yeah, she's like staring into the camera as it pans by her.
Yeah,
She's in
that's
the
her.
foreground.
That's Mac's wife.
Yeah.
That's her. Yeah.
Nice.
So that was also that was intentional. I wanted her. I think my direction to her is like, you hear something going on, but you don't want to make a scene. So she's following it, but not looking over her shoulder.
Cool.
But yeah, so I think
these are things I would have. You know, we're just guessing in the dark here, so it is good to know that. So it makes my rating look more wrong.
I love what you guys pulled out for 45 minutes about a video you didn't really know was. I mean, that was incredible. I'm trying to think if there's other things I wanted to clarify for you, just so you would know. But the way you described it was, if someone watched that, I'd be like, oh yeah, let them go with that. If they didn't know any better.
Who's the dude?
The dude. What do you mean?
The one she's kissing.
Oh, okay. So again, the whole idea of the mimes was that, you know, this is a stuffy, uptight sort of, again, you guys kind of nailed that, where, you know, their eyes are closed actually, where they aren't really seeing the truth. They aren't really facing reality. And it really was a bit of a statement of where we were as a society, and we're still there. Do you know what I mean? So that was definitely accurate in your interpretation of that. They, you know, the fact that they all then have this moment where, at the behest of the people who are alive, are some of them come alive and actually start dancing. It's like they're kind of sheep, right? Like they're dancing almost under a trance, right? They aren't even when they open their eyes, it's not like they're going and having free spirits, right? But I think that what that side means for me is that could be, that person could be it could be as, as scummy as a related family member, but which you guys purported perhaps, but it's not necessarily that bad. It's more like, cool, this is just definitely someone this bride has been in love with the whole time, and this whole wedding's a sham. Now, whether it's that extreme, you know what I mean, was less relevant to me. More relevant to the story was just the fact that here's someone in her own camp that she's, involved with, that her own people aren't even saying anything. No, the only people that come out and are disgusted are the freaks, which are the people that are actually alive. You know what I mean? The people that are eccentric and have sort of showed up for the groom. And I think it's that humanity that I wanted to see. I want to see her in this sort of adulterous moment with whatever he meant to her, but it's someone that she's known for a while, as exposed by people of light and people of life and people who are awake. Do you know what I mean? And that's why you see it. And you don't see anger either. I think what I really wanted to see was heartbreak. You know what I mean? And so when all those people come out and they see, oh my gosh, this girl's like fucking cheating on you, they don't go to kill her, burn the witch. It's like, no, they gather around their person. They do the exact opposite. They gather around their person and embrace him. And they let their hearts break with him. You know what I mean? And there's this moment of renewal and rebirth where it's like, yeah, I guess this just isn't going to happen. You know what I mean? Who reads lips? Who did the lip reading?
That was me also.
God, I wish you could figure out what they said. I can't remember what he said either, man. I would love to know what the fuck he was saying.
Yeah. We did the best we could there. We spent a few hours trying to dissect them, but that was after a little while, I just gave up. I got as much as I could out of it.
So I think it's
Amazing.
Crazy. It's your voice. That's, I think we reamed on that.
And that was intentionally just,
yeah.
So one of the things I used to do when I was first music videos, like for some reason in early music videos, there's always a hand coming into frame or somewhere. So I like hand modeled all the time. I could use my hand for those hand moments whenever there's some weird moment. Oh, he grabs her, lifts her up. Okay, I'll use my hand. So when it came to this, I'm like, well, I want to do something. And so I wanted to just like have my voice in it. I thought it would be like kind of a cool thing to be like, okay, let's make these guys like fantastical and then I'll just overdub it myself. You know what I mean? I guess my way of kind of being a part of it. You know what I mean? Like given like, cause again, like it's a music video that I wrote the concept and I executed. So like my soul is in it. You know what I mean? My voice is in it, but I thought it'd be kind of cool to also just have some moments where I actually get to have my actual voice speaking some life into it. You know what I mean? And those moments where, Brendan's looking and seeing everything's happening. And he's like, yes, like that to me was just, that's me looking over the whole thing and watching it come together and sort of having that same moment myself of saying, yes, you know what I mean? This is fucking
That's your
awesome.
baby and you're a proud papa. Yeah.
Yeah. So
that's awesome. Okay. Do you have any other questions as far as this video is concerned?
What about, I think it's a pretty straightforward video. Like you did a really good job at like telling the story of it. Is there anything hidden you put in it?
Is there anything hidden?
Probably not in a 1 18-hour shoot. You probably didn't have time to put in too much. But I think the one of the main things, that opening shot I was talking about with like it going over the Bible and going over him, like it set off that kind of religious tone. Were you using anything like that, or it was just a cool shot again, like you said?
So, well, here's a little background on me. So I went to school to be a doctor. I graduated pre-med, got out. I was like, fuck, I don't want to do this anymore. And then I went immediately from college to a job as a biochemist. I hated it. And then I started working at a church, at a youth group. So I was actually a youth pastor for a period of time. And from there, I was like, okay, shit, if I'm going to teach kids about God, I really should know what I'm talking about. So I actually went to Princeton for seminary. And while I was at Princeton, I stayed there for about a year. I was like, I don't want to be in school again. What the fuck what am I doing? I ended up going to Manhattan to be an actor. And then that's what led me to directing and all that. But basically, I have a very long sort of faith-based sort of belief system that I've always sort of adhered to. And so for me, like my whole thing has always been trying to get people to people who are believers to not act like fucking nut jobs. Do you know what I mean? Like, and so that's been my thing, like, is to normalize the faith. And so for me, like, anytime I can put that kind of shit in my music videos and make it, again, it's an indictment on like the pious in a sense here, you know what I mean? Because it's the bride side that's all together and, you know, perfect, that kind of fuck up. You know what I mean? It's the freaks, it's the crazy ones, it's the ones that look like they're doing sinful things that are the loving ones in this video, right? Yeah. So in a lot of ways, this is sort of espousing some of my take on how I sort of embrace the faith. That makes sense. Again, it's not that heavy-handed intentionally, but there's an element of that. You know what I mean?
No, that's a great correlation to tie in the two. So that, I love that answer.
Yeah. Well, it's also like no matter what you're like, as an artist, you would know you're always putting a little bit of yourself in, you know, subconsciously, whether you mean to or not. So.
Absolutely. And I think that for me, like, I mean, that's my Bible.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, we have a lot in common. I used to be a youth pastor too, so
did you really?
A lot. Oh yeah, yeah. But
it's crazy.
It's that stigma that comes with it that drew me away from it. Right? Like it
for sure.
Anyway, we can get into a whole religious debate about all that.
Well,
we have a lot in common.
That's awesome. I love it.
That's crazy.
Okay. But I'm trying to think what other hidden things. I mean, I'm sure there are. Gosh, it's like I think about this video every now and then, just because it'll, like, I literally had a friend send me a video from them doing it for karaoke last night. Like, I just get random stuff like this. Like in LA, there's a big thing called emo night. And so they always play songs that I did there. So I'll always have some friend like send me pictures from emo night and shit.
Awesome. I need to go to that. a lot of the videos I think are emo.
One of my very first music video that I directed and did sort of handled all myself was in Birmingham, Alabama.
Was that what's the name of that? Angels?
Me Without You.
What is it?
It was a band called Me Without You. They're on Solid State.
Yeah, was it on a football field?
No, it's out in the grass field, but it's not a football field. It's out in the it's out in like a crazy wooded or like field area. And it was like the middle of the summer, and the guys, they wore like pea coats and shit. They were very much had like a sort of a British vibe, and it was like 100 and whatever it was in Birmingham in like July or August. And one of the drummer ended up having to go to the hospital for heat stroke. It was crazy. But we did the whole concept was around the giving tree. Again, it was one of these low budget videos that if you don't know the band or you weren't part of that particular part of the scene, you probably wouldn't have ever seen it. But it's just Birmingham was where I shot my first thing.
That's awesome.
Yeah, very small world there.
Yeah, for sure.
So yeah,
another connection. And again, I don't know if this is necessarily a hidden thing, but another video that the girl that was on the podcast with you guys mentioned was the Ballad of the Mona Lisa, which was I also did that one. And for me, that was kind of like my return to if you look at it, there's a lot of similar actions from Brendan in that as I Write Sins, because that was kind of like my return, you know what I mean? Whereas Panic was, or I Write Sins was a wedding, but Ballad of Mona Lisa was a funeral. And so they're kind of, if you watch them, they're kind of like reverse of each other, you know what I mean? But they're very simply the opposite ends of a rock, you know what I mean? It's like they're very similar in their sort of shape, but like one's the dark side, one's the light side.
They tie in together, but two completely different videos. Beth loved that one too. Of course, I think she's loved everything that Panic's ever done. So she was by far the biggest fan.
Yeah.
My wife is too, but she didn't want to do it because she says it sounds too country on recording. So
yeah, I remember you saying that on there. The secret's out. You guys are from Alabama. There's no getting around it.
Yeah, I know. He hides it pretty well. I do not.
Well, so yeah, I mean, if there's anything else about the video, but if not, like, we don't want to like, we have as much time as you have. I mean, do you want to like breeze through? We have other questions for you if you're open to it, man.
Yeah, I've got a few more minutes.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll hit the quick ones then.
Yeah. Sure.
Just random questions that we thought of. So, and you don't have to answer any of these if you don't want to. Okay. Which of the videos that you directed is your favorite?
Well, I mean, it's hard. It's like asking a parent which kid is their favorite. Like, you know, you have one, but like, it's not real. It's just based off them being their personalities, right? The personality, of this video that we're talking about now will always, because of what it did for my career, because of where I was, like, I didn't make this trying to get a VMA. Like, this wasn't the intent. You know what I mean? I didn't go, oh, cool, I'm going to win video of the fucking year with this thing. Like, no. I knew I was not in that. I knew Huh?
You think you have to have a $500,000 budget to be able to do that, right?
Absolutely. I was like, cool. And that wasn't even like an aspiration. That wasn't even a goal of mine. I wasn't like, cool, I can't wait to get to the VMAs. I was like, I'm never going to the VMAs. I'm just having fun making music videos. But when this one did what it did, it showed me one, that, it's not the chasing of awards or all that kind of shit that matters. It's chasing the art of it. You know what I mean? Because it was, again, this video was done for the sake of the video. You know what I mean? Everything that sort of comes off as magical, and it comes off as magical because everyone poured their heart into it. You know what I mean? I think it's very easy to get caught up in that award game afterwards, because then you're like, shit, is this one gonna be good enough to make an award? Is this one gonna be good enough to make an award? It's not like you're thinking, cool, I'm only doing this for the sake, but it's hard not to get wrapped up in that cycle of, is this gonna be good enough to do it? Is this gonna be good enough? And so for me, like, what's special about this is I didn't have any of that bullshit in my head then. You know what I mean? I didn't have any of that preconceived notion that, like, I deserve something or I'm good enough to attain this level of, recognition. It was more just, I just loved throwing shit in the back of my Land Cruiser and showing up to set and making cool things. You know what I mean? For those reasons, this video, what's that?
I said, there's no expectations for you to win awards on your first video, right?
Exactly. And so for me, like, this video, like, it's all that innocence and excitement of an artist without any expectations, like we said, that sort of allowed me to connect to this and end up connecting with the band. We shot a lot of videos after this together, and so it's hard not to name this as my favorite for obvious reasons. You know what I mean? But there's a lot of intrinsic reasons as well. You know what I mean? But again, during this time, like, I had a very fortunate career because I came along when this scene was booming, right? Like, right before it popped, like, I came in and I got to come up with the pop, you know what I mean? So, like, I got to get in with Paramore before they were fucking anybody, you know what I mean? Like, I did Paramore's first video. I did their first 3 videos, you know what I mean? Like, when like Zach was 14, I think, when he was the drummer for a video for Pressure, you know what I mean? Like, they were children, and it was awesome because I got to be there when, like, their shows had maybe 15, 20 people. And all of a sudden they're selling out, around the globe. You know what I mean? I remember the first time. And so for me, it's like, it's the Paramore videos, it's the Panic videos, because I got to be with them when they were nobody, and then when they were somebody, as far as the world is concerned, and watch them grow and mature and then eventually just be like, oh, I'm just fans of the music. You know what I mean? But it's funny that the video I shot in Birmingham, it was with my mentor at the time, this guy named Darren Doan, who did a lot of cool punk videos in the 90s and 2000s. And he was definitely someone who helped sort of mentor me in music videos and show me how to make things. And so he let me do the Me Without You. And then I shot 2 other videos for him, for Norma Jean and for Under Oath. And so we got to do the first Under Oath video. And then I remember we went to go see them at a concert that night in Alabama. And there was like maybe 12 kids, and half of them were karate fighting in the front. You know what I mean? It was awesome. And I had never seen that shit before. I was like, what the hell is these guys are beating the shit out of each other? Like, yeah, this is like hardcore fighting. I'm like, what? Yeah, like, this is just what they do. They love it. I'm like, okay, I'm fucking in. And then I remember, like, maybe 5 years later, I'm at Warped Tour behind the fucking, like, stage, and there's just a swarm of people watching Under Oath. You know what I mean? So, like, I came in, it's such a cool time in music in this scene. You know what I mean? I came in as the whole thing was coming up. And so I got to ride that wave with all those bands and that whole scene. You know what I mean? And it really was like, it's a time in my life I'll always cherish, you know what I mean? Not just because it gave me a career, it gave me, set me on the path I'm on now, but there was such it's in the name, emo, right? But there's just such an emotional connection to that music for me because of what it was all just such an angsty sort of like group of kids just trying to like, fuck you, this is what we're doing. We're going to wear eyeliner and our hair is going to be fucking bangs and black. And we're going to, some of us are going to be straight edge and not drink. And I was like, what the fuck is that? Really? Now I'm sober 6 years. Right. So I remember when Pete and I were doing that video for Saturday and he was straight edge at the time. And I thought it was the dumbest thing ever. And I was like, and so we had this whole discussion about straight edge and I'm like, all right, we left the conversation as it is what it is. And obviously I'm almost certain he broke his edge. Eventually it's been 20 years since then. But now I'm sober 6 years and I go look back at the conversation. I'm like, oh, that's so funny. You gave Pete so much shit for not doing all this stuff. And now that's the life you live. You just don't call it straight edge. But I love that kind of, that there were so many of those elements in that scene. You know what I mean? There were so many just little like sub genres of what was going on in it. I don't know if you guys, how old you are, what part of that world you got to experience, but it was really pretty special.
Oh yeah, like I said, most of that emo stage of the videos that I like to pick because they speak to me anyway. Not as much here,
for sure.
Yeah. So let's see. Hold on. We obviously did some research. We watched a lot of your videos before, so we didn't sound like
cool.
goons talking to you. One thing I kind of picked up was like a lot of your videos have a very inspirational tone to them, like a lot of overcoming obstacles and stuff like that. Is that something you're drawn to, like when you pick your videos?
I'm glad that's what you saw. I wouldn't have known that that's the case without someone.
I could just be wrong and making it up again, like I do a lot on the podcast. But
no. I mean, look, it is absolutely my everything. You know what I mean? Like, I never wanted to just make commercials for bands. You know what I mean? I never just wanted to like have a job where like, and I struggled with this. And a lot of this came from my faith, came from, being a believer and wanting my life to have purpose and meaning and have it be of substance. But obviously, when you're making some music videos, like you're basically making a commercial for a band to make them look cool. You know what I mean? And I really struggled at times. Like, am I just supporting vanity? Am I just, you know what I mean? Am I just chasing after wind? What's the point of this if I'm not being genuine? And so to that point, I realized, like, for me, if I'm going to stay in this business and be able to sleep at night, I had to find a way to come to terms with what my job was and realize that, okay, there's two things I can do then. One is, whenever I can, if I can make something of value that can help somebody, inspire somebody to grow, to change, to face a fear, to whatever, then I'll do that. But if I can't, then at the very least, I'll do whatever the video is with as much excellence as possible. And that'll be my commitment to my craft. And so I'm glad that you saw the first thing come through. I mean, I definitely, whenever I can infuse meaning or something into a video that, or a music video that has that kind of lyrical content, then I love it. But the music doesn't always lend to that. So I don't always have that opportunity, but when it does, it's definitely intentional. You know what I mean? Like, I know, like with, for instance, Highway Don't Care with Tim Mcgraw and Taylor Swift and Keith Urban, that was something that, Tim is a very passionate dude. He's become a buddy over the years, and he's the real deal. You know what I mean? Like, Tim's the real. If you ever wondered, is Tim fake? No, he's the real fucking deal. He is 100% like the guy you would want and expect him to be. And so when he came to me with that song, we both were striving for, because he wants things to matter beyond what you can even believe. He wants every ounce of his artistry to touch you and to matter and to help, inspire and grow. And so getting to work with him on that, like we really got to do something of value there. You know what I mean? And he really like gave me the reins to tell a story that could save lives. You know what I mean? And it's not very often that you get to make something that could potentially save lives. You know what I mean? And again, and maybe that's part of me also, like just having that, some of those initial interests in me being a doctor was like wanting to help make people better. You know what I mean? And again, I'm probably overreaching a little bit, but there's definitely that thread of interest in my artistry that when I get to work with artists that share that, like Tim, it does lend towards a video that reaches all the goals that I want to reach as an artist. And that's definitely one of them.
So that's one, it's like when I got over here to Jared's house, I said, you need to watch this video.
Yeah.
And we watched it right before this call. And I was like, man, it's artistically, it's beautiful. And it's still got a crazy twist in it, right? Because the whole time you're thinking Tim's the dad, right? And he ends up being the dad. I thought it was brilliant to go through it, and the whole time. And he was thinking the same thing. He's like, if this isn't her dad, I don't know what's going on. I was like, just keep watching, man. It's so good.
Yeah.
All right.
So
what were some of your videos? Like, what are your videos you drawn to? What would you pick for us if we were going to do a video?
Oh my gosh. You guys should I would love for you guys to do Refuse New Noise.
It's written down now.
Refuse New Noise.
Yeah, it's again, it's actually like it's part of like what shaped a lot of this scene. Like, Refused, like they had an album called The Shape of Punk to Come, and they basically sort of like Babe Ruthed where like hardcore music was going to go and where like the scene was going to go. And they were right. You know what I mean? And this video that you'll watch, you'll see it. It's crazy. And it'll give you all kinds of interesting, like, diatribes to fucking chase down of what the hell it means. But it really was sort of a precursor. Anyone in the sort of music video world, like, would reference that from time to time. It definitely was one of the sort of hallmarks. Yeah. And then, I am a kid of the 90s, right? Like I went to college in 92. And so like I was raised on grunge shit, right? Like Pearl Jam, like Nirvana, like that was my world. Like I'm 47, right? So that's like what I came into. So when I came into this scene, this was like a whole second life for me, right? Because mostly like I was 10 years older than everyone in that scene. Because most people who were like going to music videos, you go into it in your 20s. I didn't really get into it until my 30s. And so when I got onto the scene, I already had my musical taste and my interest. And this wasn't it, but my intern who I brought on, my very first intern, Brandon Bonfiglio, who's now a fucking mega producer. He's incredible. He produces the biggest music videos in the world and commercials. And he was super into the scene. He was 10 years younger than me. He was super into the scene. And he had a lot to do with like saying, hey, no, check out Panic. You're going to like them. You got to, and I'm like, oh, okay. And so I would chase down those things. And, like being able to like have that second resurgence, like, cause I already had all my favorite, like U2 was my favorite band. You know what I mean? Like I'm that age, you know what I mean? Like I'm already like, I already have all that shit. Like there's no, like, but now I got to have this whole second life where like I came into music all over again with this stuff. And so now it's funny because like, whenever I date girls, like some of the music makes sense. I listen to like yacht rock and shit, like that kind of stuff. But like when I listen to like Finch, or I'll listen to, Atreyu, or I'll listen to any of these sort of, bands from the scene, or Fall Out Boy or whatever, or even Blink, like they're always a little bit like, that's weird. Why do you listen to this? Because it's like it's not really my demo, but I fucking love that shit because it was my whole it was the whole thing that shaped my career.
So one more question, we'll let you go.
Yep.
Cool. And that's and you kind of just touched on that, right? So back in the day, music videos were kind of a big deal. And it seems like that becomes less and less of a thing nowadays. The trend seems to be that music videos aren't as big as they used to be. Do you know why that is, or what's the future of music videos from here?
I would say, I don't know if I'd say they're less important. They're different importance. They're of different importance because remember, like when music video, like as media gets more entrenched in every area of our life, as entertainment sources become more, plentiful, all of a sudden, like our ability to focus on any one thing for long is decreasingly, like, infinitesimally small. You know what I mean? Like when all you had was 4 television stations before I was a kid, but like TV was king, right? You could have some crazy show and half the country's watching it. It doesn't matter if it's good or not. That's all there was. You know what I mean? Obviously, we've now splintered into a billion different like entertainment sources. It's crazy. So for music videos, like, in the 90s, those were huge budgets. And especially when you started getting into the boy bands towards the end of the 90s and and all the stuff that was happening in that world. But they carried a different weight because you couldn't just find them anyway. You couldn't just go on YouTube. You know what I mean? Like you had to wait around watching MTV and wait through all the shit you didn't want to watch. You know what I mean? Like you had to be patient. You had to, when you listen to the radio, you had to wait till the song came on so you could fucking press record. You know what I mean? If you didn't already own the stuff, you know what I mean? Then you had to wait and like bootleg it off the TV or off the radio. Like that made it special. That made it something that like you couldn't just have. Now we can just have anything. We can Amazon anything into our life. You can Amazon a person into your life. I mean, you know what I mean? Like it's like there's nothing off the table. And that's what that does is that makes any artist form diluted. You know what I mean? And I think that with music videos, it's no different, but I think there's still an importance. There's still some videos that spend $1 million. You know what I mean? There's the huge pop, like the Cardi B's or the whatever that still get those humongous budgets to do crazy things. And are they doing, I guess they would say probably for pushing sort of their agenda of like normalizing sexuality or normalizing women's roles. And that I would say that my guess is they would probably argue that their videos are as equally as important as anything that's ever come out before. And I guess I could see that too. But for me, I think the importance of music videos now, it's what it's always been about. It's about connecting you to your favorite bands. You know what I mean? Like, and that importance hasn't gone away. It's just muted by all the noise surrounding it. You know what I mean? Like if for a kid who's 15 or 16, who all of a sudden, and my buddy's daughters is a huge K-pop fan, and the way that like she'll listen to it and cry and like just love it. So those music videos that she watches of those, they're so important to her. Do you know what I mean? Like, and so in the same way that like Teen Spirit blew my mind and changed my life, you know what I mean? In the same way that I Write Sins might have changed someone's life, in that era, there's still videos that are doing that for kids. And I think that's important. I mean, music is an integral part of our lives. And it's so important for, it's such an important art form for our growth and our development and our learning about our emotions and learning about how it puts words to things that we can't. And so I think what music videos have always done and still do is enhance that connection with a visual that hopefully takes that further and hopefully connects deeper and allows you to actually engage in that moment in a more lasting way. And so for me, it'll always have equal importance as it's always had. It's just there's a lot of the things drowning out the noise.
That's awesome. What a closing statement there. That was
All right. Well, I think that's all the questions we have for you. I'll give you the floor for a second. If there's anything that you want to pitch or talk about, any projects coming up, anything you want to say.
Yeah, I've I'm working on a couple music videos that are coming that I'm gonna be shooting here in the next month, which I'm excited about. But again, those will all come out when they come out. But no, man, I'm just living my life, man. Excited about being able to meet new people like you guys, and thanks for having me on here. I do have a movie out called Rising Star, which is a music doc I did on an artist named Griffin House. I would highly recommend checking that out. We just got a new distribution deal for that, so that should start being more widely available on other platforms and streamers soon. But it's called Rising Star, and you can check it out. It's a solid piece of work I'm really proud of.
Sweet. Well, hey, man, thank you so much for doing this and for making music videos. I mean, they're very close to our hearts, and you are keeping them alive.
Right on, man. Well, guys, thanks for having me. Best of luck with everything you're doing. And let me know when this goes up somewhere.
We'll send it to you in an email, Shane. We appreciate you so much, brother.
All right, guys. See you.
See you, man.
Thank you for listening to the Music Video Night podcast. Our logo was created by Travis Goki.
Music created by H.W. Day, and our hosts are Travis Goki and Jared Cothrell.
Concept by Jared and Kristen Cothrell.